Fabulous Engineering Limited, Zambia's largest and most advanced modern engineering company. We provide superior engineering solutions of any scale and are committed to delivering highly professional and comprehensive service to our customers, ensuring complete satisfaction. We are unaffected by power cut as we have installed 2 high-capacity generators. This guarantees round-the-clock efficiency. FAIR boasts of unique and exclusive machineries such as lathering, universal boring and milling, internal slotting, surface grinder, shaping, radial drilling, heat treatment furnace for hardening, shutter manufacturing, ducting pipe manufacturing, rolling, plate banding, hydraulic press, plasma cutting machines, fuel pump testing bench, injector testing machine, hydraulic pipe clamping machine, hydraulic pipe fitting, and many more. We are manufacturing specialists of shop shutters and ducting pipes. We also offer the following services: maintenance and repair and on-site support. Call us on 0955 764 011, 0979 698 382 or 0969 064 419. Email info@fabulousengineering.com. We are located at plot number 7204 Kachiza Road, Light Industrial Area in Lusaka. Fabulous Engineering Limited, Zambia's largest and most advanced engineering company.
It's a lovely evening and a warm welcome to Camnet Television. Camnet, not just another channel. I'm your presenter, Namwinga Mwinga. We now look at the news headlines. Zambians are cowards, Malama. Apologize to Kuta fires back at Bowman. Government to pay retirees Lubinda. COVID-19, a hoax in Zambia, Chishimba Kambwili. Atletico Madrid striker Diego Costa sentenced to prison. We now take a break.
Super cereal.
We always start our day with nutritious super cereal. It's so easy to make. Just add hot water or milk. Fortified with essential vitamins, gives you energy and keeps you alert. Super cereal is so good for you. Comes in 3 yummy flavors: original, banana, and strawberry, and tastes so good.
Easy Super Cereal is made from non-GMO maize and soya and is good for the whole family. Found in all leading stores. Quick and easy.
Tastes delicious.
Full of goodness.
Makes you stronger.
Super cereal.
Easy Super Cereal. Brought to you by Java Foods.
You're still watching Camnet TV. Camnet, not just another channel. We now continue with the news. A Zambian youth based in Lusaka, Stanley Malama, has described Zambians as cowards who cannot stand for what is right. Stanley, who is saddened by the current occurrences of intimidation from some government officials, says Zambian youths should unite and fight to save Zambia. He has since called on Zambian youths to come together and work together to fight for Zambia. We have more in this report.
It seems the year 2020 is just not a year of the coronavirus, but also a year of apologies in Zambia. To take you back to the month of May 2020, it all started as a relief to many Zambians when the mayor of the capital city, Lusaka, started to show the Chinese in Zambia that Zambia is for Zambians and Zambians only by closing down some Chinese businesses such as restaurants and barbershops that discriminated against Zambian citizens in their own country. A few days later, the Minister of Local Government, Charles Banda, was seen on government media saying the right procedure was not followed with dealing with the Chinese in Zambia. And later, what Zambians saw was the mayor apologizing to the Chinese community in Zambia.
Apologize to all the Chinese people. My calling is to respect all human beings be it in deed or speech, regardless of nationality. Number two, the last one, I render my apology to all other leaders in whose jurisdiction my actions may have interfered with.
This angered some Zambian citizens who took to social media to express their concerns. A few days later, some youths took it upon themselves to talk about the harsh economy and some of the issues which they feel were not properly handled by the Zambian government, such as the gold mine story. Bran Wembia, a Zambian musician popularly known as Biflo, was seen in a video criticizing government over the issues of the Chinese.
It's the only inheritance that our children can have. But will our children inherit a country where they even inherit debts that they don't even know who contracted it? They come and inherit a country where they are enslaved because leaders had allowed other people from outside to come and take over and be given an advantage over the locals. Is that a country we're looking for? No, there's no way. How can people come to your country in the name of being an investor? They invest in your country, maybe in like a business that the locals are supposed to be doing, and start competing with the locals in a small business, and you call it investment. And it's not just that. Even when they're given that opportunity, then they start selecting who enters their business premises by saying, no, you can't enter because you are black or because you are Zambian. In my country?
Another one is a photographer, Chela Tukuta, who also called on His Excellency the President of Zambia, Edgar Chagwalungu, to check those surrounding him, as the photographer believes they are making him unpopular. Now, this is Kings Malembe Malembe, a gospel artist in Zambia, who has this to say to the President.
Mr. President, number one, don't give that gold mine to foreigners. I don't know, maybe if you are prepared to lose, yes, you can give it. Because over that, you lose elections, the coming elections. Don't give KCM to Chinese. If you are prepared to lose, give them. You know, don't do that. This is our genuine, because we don't have any, when we no one is hearing maybe. But maybe when we speak here, you hear us.
After Malembe's statement, it seems it did not go well with Lusaka Province Minister Honorable Bowman Lusambo, who warns the named youths to apologize to the office of the President for advising His Excellency, and gave them a 24 hours ultimatum.
You can't start demeaning the office of the President with impunity. And for us who have trust in His Excellency Edgar Chagwalungu, we are not going to sit and relax and enjoy your nonsense, especially here in Lusaka province. We want to urge you that, can you stop this nonsense? Stop it. Stop it, and stop it now. We cannot go on like this. We cannot go on like this. And I can assure you that we know that some of these disgruntled youths, they have been paid by opposition political party to bring the name of the President, the name of the government into disrepute. We have all the information. And we want to urge you that, can you eat that money quietly and stop this nonsense? Stop it. We are not going to allow this lawlessness to continue. And I want to urge Kings Malembe Malembe. I want to urge the cameraman. I don't know if it's what's the name, whatever the name is. I want to urge Biflo and his team that, can you desist from bringing the name of the country, the name of government into disrepute. And this is stupidity at its highest level. And we are not going to allow this here in Lusaka province. And I want to urge Kings Malembe Malembe that I'm giving him 24 hours to apologize to the President for releasing those stinking nonsense.
However, before the 24 hours elapsed, the gospel artist Malembe is seen apologizing.
Mama, forgive me, and Daddy, forgive me so much. I'm a son in the house. People are calling me. You could have used a good fora. You already in the house. You could have called. To me now, advice.
This move has, however, angered many Zambian citizens, especially his fellow artists, those that listen to his music. Moving forward, a youth in Lusaka, Stanley Malama, has described Zambians as cowards who are only good with social media. Malama blames Zambians and calls them cowards.
We cannot blame much the government or the mayor himself. On the contrary, we should blame ourselves as Zambians because we are cowards hiding in the name of peace loving. These Chinese people have abused us. These Chinese people, they've not brought any skill in Zambia. I've not seen any industry across the country being run by the Chinese. All I see is shops owned by Chinese, or I see barber shops owned by Chinese. What are we learning from the Chinese today? Because even the construction of roads, they come with their own team. What are we learning from the Chinese? What you are learning is nothing apart from the brutality that they're showing us. So I feel as Zambian people and the youths in particular, we should rise up and face these people head on, because they are using us to make the money that they're taking to their country. And we are not using them to make the man that should remain in this country. So we, the same people, are weak. We, the same people, are cowards.
He has called for Zambian youths to work together and fight for the better Zambia. Camnet News, Lusaka.
Meanwhile, in a string of apologies making rounds in Lusaka, Zambia's renowned photographer Chela Tukuta has fired back on Bowman Lusambo refusing to apologize and instead has asked the Lusaka province minister to do it.
Honorable Bowman Lusambo, I would love to tell you that, sir, before you say something, you need to do a research. And you did not do your research very well. That's what I want to tell you. And not everyone who speaks out is being paid by the opposition. That notion should not be there. And sir, do not instill fear in people when they speak out. That's an infringement of human rights. You know, you are going to only infringe people's rights, people who don't know their rights. But people that know their rights, you shall not infringe their rights. You should remember that you are a public leader, and you are accountable for every statement that you make. And the statements and the empty threats that you made today will haunt you one day. Honorable Bowman Lusambo, hunger has paid me. Hunger and poverty has paid me. You know, and I want to remind you that during your time as a youth, you were a diehard MMD youth. And you used to attack my late leader, may his soul rest in peace, Michael Chilosha Sata.
Traders along Lumumba Road have expressed sadness as their businesses have been negatively affected by the coronavirus outbreak. The traders have called on government to empower them as the economy is too harsh for their bearing. Here's a report.
Businesses globally are experiencing unprecedented workforce disruption. Virtually all companies are still determining how they will work in the short and long term as workforces and communities try to function and perform while struggling to cope with what is happening in their daily lives. The coronavirus, a virus that at one point almost brought the world to a standstill, but now it seems life is slowly getting back to normal as citizens of Zambia are back on the streets, ready to live their normal lives. In Zambia, small and medium enterprises have adversely been affected due to the lack of business, as barbershops and saloons were once closed, and now a barbershop owner in Chongwe district of Lusaka province narrates how his business is affected.
Magana computer jakusenza vetpasen sako mati customer mabwera ko pansoto sako manyimbo okashimisa memory card so.
On the other hand, of small businesses, some Lumumba street vendors have also testified business is not the same after the outbreak of the coronavirus in Zambia. They say they are facing many challenges, as some people are now avoiding second-hand clothes due to fear of the virus.
So for twistisha salaula apa pakati coronavirus yalisa tuteverera twalisale kama business yesu yalibwerera panshi so apata tukwete na makato but tuleluisha kofesine twamona nomba kwati fintu olofyaba munomo apantu
yalibweshe fintu panshi ifintu tafyaba bwenye economy naishuka nangu even business tayaba bwino bachapa abantu nabatampo kwingirako so tulefu afya at least government ichiteko support ukweba chichi atutontonkanyako efo inga tutontonkanyako kutu pera kutuma empowerment twakwacha at least twayako fantashi ko bamota twakwata n'abarume twikala fefweka turaisunga fweka so nombe fintu file moneke fya shupa ero futi chino chintu ba Margaret nakato bali tuletera ama bucket no tulebonfya nangwa papere natukwata ama max yo tulefwala tulechita encourage abantu abanesu kwe bachikuichingira bantu government bantu batata ba edigalungu bali ndoko bati mechingira na coronavirus.
According to the latest information from the Ministry of Health, the cumulative cases in Zambia now stand at 1,089. Total recoveries are 712, with 7 deaths, and active cases are 170. However, life has gone back to normal as people no longer maintain social distance, neither do they pay attention to the wearing of face masks or any other preventive measures that were put in place by the President of Zambia, His Excellency Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
We now take a break. We'll be back shortly for more news after this.
Savenda General Insurance Limited is a young and vibrant insurance company that is focused on changing the outlook of the insurance landscape.
At Savenda General Insurance, we believe in a quick settlement of claims because we believe the customer is the reason why we exist.
Such living proof motivates us to know that you can count on us to actually be there for you in times of need.
We have been able to pay claims of about 14 million kwacha.
Savenda General Insurance Limited offers aviation, agriculture, marine, fire, motor vehicle, engineering and construction, and miscellaneous insurance.
Come and see what we're able to offer, what we can do. You will never be disappointed because we are here for you.
For further details, call us on 0211 250 278 or 0955 555744.
I've always been passionate about moving forward as fast as I could. Even as a child, all I ever wanted was to take first place at everything I put work towards. Whether I'm on the track or in the lecture room, my goal is to come out on top.
Growing up, we were always called Mafasho. You could say this paved the way for who we would become. We owe our success to our understanding of the power of storytelling, understanding what people connect to in order to give them what they desire.
We have always been passionate about people and honoring their stories. Our learning experience gave us the knowledge to channel our creativity into a business.
In order to start any successful journey, we must have a place to start. Even if that means we keep our mental image in focus as we become the inevitable solution to society's inevitable problems.
Which is why we all start our journey here.
You're still watching Camnet TV News. Camnet, not just another channel. We continue with the rest of the news. Small-scale and commercial business owners have said that the economy in the country has drastically declined during the fight against COVID-19. They have said that the government has not manifested competent leadership in improving the economic lives of people while fighting COVID-19 pandemic. More in this report.
In view of the lockdown and the balance between economical activities and obviously caring for the spread of COVID, I wish to state that first, this government has been very careless, extremely careless, because when you lock down the economy in view of a pandemic, whether COVID-19, cholera or anything, you have to provide a survival plan for small and medium enterprises. Reason being that when you lock up the economy, for instance, the way the Zambian government has done with the bars, you are supposed to provide funding to those business houses. One, you can either take up the payment of rentals if they are renting, you take up the payment of employees' salaries, and then you give some tax incentives so that these businesses can survive. But what has happened in Zambia is an haphazard arrangement, where somebody just wakes up and say, we have closed bars. Are you thinking of how those people are surviving? So it's not just a question of waking up and say lockdown. When we advised government to do a lockdown, we expected government to use reserves. That's why you have to have reserves as a country. In the budget line, there is supposed to be a budget for unforeseen circumstances. But this government doesn't do all those things. And I feel very sorry that bar owners and others whose businesses have been affected by closure due to COVID are suffering. I feel that government has been very, very unfair to these entrepreneurs because they've not been given anything. Government pronounced a 10 billion package to mitigate the effect of COVID on business. But again, I have a doubt as to whether this money will reach the intended beneficiaries, because this government is full of political patronage. They would want to give the money only to those people that are close to the powers that be. So the balance between economical sector and prevention of COVID by this government has been handled haphazardly.
Meanwhile, in Chongwe district, taxi drivers told Camnet TV that their businesses have been less effective since the lockdown. They further narrated that the decline in businesses has exerted a great negative impact on their lives and their families. The drivers have called on government to render help with economic activities for their community.
Since the appearance of the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic in the country, most of the activities and businesses were shut down to prevent the spread of COVID-19. Government had injected 10 billion kwacha into the bank sector to improve the country's economy. However, the country has faced more economic instabilities as many Zambian people lament about the negative impact that COVID-19 has put on their livelihoods. In an interview with a taxi driver, Mr. Chitambo Matthews narrated that the struggle to provide for their families has only been worsened.
But pamene kuna bwera che coronavirus vintu vinaononge kaero business ife mandine driver but ninapezeka kuti kwa mene tizo sevenza wanatimika manchito then vazikazi vatu vankhala chabe tichita malendi so ndalama zopasa malendi vantu tiri veni malandroad tiribe tizipeza chabe tingovutika chabe vakamba kuti boma ti vafolesako maunga but maunga yo stiyaona sitizo vamene vafola kuti ni vandani so tinkhalira che mphamvu ya mulungu but ngati chekuli method yamene vangapangeko yakuti tapezako kosevenza munga muchongwe ma industries or machani vantu vane vale muchongwe vaenda ku town ndiko ane vasevenzera then mtauni namweve vintu sivili bwino so nde ma challenges anti facing kuno kuchongwe.
Meanwhile, in Chongwe district, taxi drivers told Camnet TV that their businesses have been less effective since the lockdown. I beg your pardon. Mr. Herman, owner of Sandy Beach Lodge in Siavonga, has also stressed that the tourism sector is terribly limping because the businesses are no longer effective.
Meanwhile, the economic decline has not left the country's tourism sector. Speaking to the owner of the Sandy Beach Lodge in Siavonga, Mr. Herman stated that the move of 10 billion injection into the banks has not worked accordingly because people still have to pay back the money.
The biggest problem in the tourism is that in the moment our CESCO rates are so high that we are nearly failing because no matter if you have one customer or many customers, you have to maintain the premises. Some of the big hotels cannot open because even if they have 5 customers or 10 customers, some of them don't have a staircase to go to the first floor. They have to run the elevator. Some big hotels, they have central air conditioning. They need to run air conditioning for the whole hotel, even if there's only 5 or 10 customers. So their cost would be too high even to even think of opening. Yeah, that money is not a gift, it's not a grant. It can only help if it's a grant. So a loan, if you get a loan, you still have to pay it back eventually. So I'm personally not affected by it.
Reporting for Camnet Television, Tennyson Kaunda.
National Democratic Congress Party President Mr. Chishimba Kambuli has said Zambia does not have COVID-19. In an interview with NDC President, Dr. Chishimba Kambuli stated that the figures of COVID-19 patients have been rather fraudulent statistics than true and not sufficient enough to help government attract donor funding. We have more in this report.
I have told the world, I released a video, is it 2 days ago, where I said the whole COVID thing is a hoax. Look, if you look at the figures in South Africa, look at the figures in Tanzania, look at the figures in Kenya. As the figures are going up, the deaths are also increasing. Is it not surprising that here, when we had about 77 cases, we recorded 7 deaths. Today we have recorded only 9 deaths according to them, which deaths are even suspicious. Because relatives of those who have died are saying, no, our relative never died of COVID. So for me, the whole COVID thing is a hoax. They should even open the bars and let people trade normally. Because there is no way the numbers can be going up where there is no cure. Then the deaths are stuck at 9.
The National Democratic Congress Party, NDC, says it might consider forming a pact with the United Party for National Development, UPND, in the forthcoming 2021 general elections. NDC leader Chishimba Kambuli says if the Zambian people want both parties to work together, NDC has no objections. More in this report.
I've said and I want to say it again, that the UPND, NDC and other political parties are in alliance. And if there is anything that we've scored positive, is that we have stuck together. Meaning, therefore, that the possibility of working together is still there. We are discussing in the background, and depending on the outcome of the discussions, for us as NDC, we don't have any problem. If the people of Zambia say come together and work together, who are we? Because Tebani Nefobakala voter. It's the same people who will be voting. So if it's the same people who wants us to work together, why not? And I have said, anybody who wants to lead must be prepared to be led. So either my brother HH must be prepared to be led, or I must also be prepared to be led, depending on who the people of Zambia will say, this is the person we want to be on top. We are more than ready as NDC.
The Ministry of Justice has taken concern over the plight of the retirees, especially the non-payment of pensions, as it is a public concern. Justice Minister Given Lubinda says government has never neglected retirees but has been concerned about the non-payment of their benefits. Mr. Lubinda says government has, however, put aside 500 million kwacha to pay the retirees who have been demanding for their benefits since 1997. Here's a report. These men and women are among the former Ministry of Justice employees that were retrenched between the year 1997 and 1999. Ever since, these people, whom some of their colleagues are long gone, have been converging daily at the Ministry of Justice in a bid to get their retrenchment packages. And now their prayers have been answered as government has allocated 508 million kwacha to clear them all.
I am pleased to announce that the Ministry of Justice has agreed with the representatives of which settlement agreements have since been signed. My colleagues from the Ministry of Finance have confirmed that disbursements will now start. Payments to our retirees who have been waiting for more than 20 years will now commence. The payments will commence on Monday, the 8th of June this year. I wish to advise that the total debt owing to the verified number of 12,458 retirees is 508,153,591 kwacha.
Even though it has been discovered that their names were duplicated, going up to 4,327, which would have in turn attracted losses on government, Justice Minister Given Lubinda has assured the nation of a thorough verification exercise. Mr. Lubinda was speaking during a media briefing at his ministry in Lusaka. Reporting for Camnet Television in Lusaka, Zambia, Namwenga Mwinga. We now take our next set of commercials. Don't go away.
Can I have that meal over there? And I really want that crisp, fresh apple taste from the garden. Can I have happy apple?
I think I'll have my big bite 2 meal with happy waziwaka. Give us your
enjoy an appetizing big bite meal with an happy drink of your choice. A meal is not a meal without an happy drink. And now introducing Happy in a can.
Dr. Bigron, musaibala komutienda ukuni gift na land. Uchitenkubeti uibise mojo basayone. Oh! Mwina mochi, nakuletera njinga. Latest ina ruvesi gear na mawaipa.
Difficult chidi ashidia njinga. Liam 19 pendefcon. Transport, we got it.
Nanga phone for communication. Ipu sana chizungu. Yeah, you see what I mean?
It's a camera difficult.
It's communication. We got it. Indemoni! Powerful system ndimba X-Buzz.
Mufumile kukalale. Na mnaimo muli bakumushi. We got it. Yo Bigron, utole noleta nchemfule mungani. Get you watch that pose and change. 1, 2, 3. Both of you. Kabala ngempang. Don't be stupid. We got it.
We all know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vita-Rich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only cowbell with Vita-Rich puts you on the fast track.
Thank you for staying with us. And now the rest of the news. In sports, breaking news. In Spain, Atletico Madrid striker Diego Costa has been sentenced to prison. Diego Costa has been sentenced to 6 months in prison for tax fraud in Spain. However, it is being reported that the striker will not go to prison but will instead pay a 36,000 euros fine to avoid serving jail time. El Mundo reports that Diego pleaded guilty to a tax offense amounting to 1.1 million euros. One of the accusations leveled against him is that he defrauded the state of more than 900,000 pounds by failing to declare payments of more than 4.63 million pounds since his move to Chelsea back in 2014. The BBC reports that Diego is reported to have asked his club Atletico Madrid to pay the fine, a request which they refused. They will, however, pay him his wages in advance so he can pay up the fine in full. The fee is said to be around 500,000 euros, which is about 450 pounds. We've now come to the end of the news, a recap of the top stories. Zambians are coward, Malama. Apologize to Kuta fires bag at Bowman. Government to pay retirees, Lubinda. COVID-19 a hoax in Zambia, Chishimba Kambwili. Atletico Madrid striker Diego Costa. And now our memory verse, or the verse of the day, comes from the book of Matthew 6, verse 14. The Bible says, if you forgive others their trespasses, their reflectless and willful sins, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. This has been Camnet Television News. Camnet, not just another channel. Good night and God bless you.